We get calls all the time. People want, 20 acres in the mountains for 100,000 or 300,000, and that's not happening.
If Salt Lake City and Bend, Oregon had a baby, it would be Boise, Idaho.
There's the Four Seasons, and they think it's this nice, mellow, adjustment between seasons. But really, you're going from single digits to triple digits when you live here.
Okay, so what is the biggest lie about living in Boise in 2026? Wendy, what do you think it is?
I think it's that people think it's really, really cheap to live here. That the prices are what they were maybe 6 years ago, before COVID, that you could get acres and acres at a really cheap cost.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. We get calls all the time. People want, 20 acres in the mountains for 100,000 or 300,000, and that's not happening. I would say also people think they're going to come here and it's just like a super quiet, slow, no traffic, which maybe compared to where you're from, but it feels like there's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, I mean, but comparatively speaking, coming from a higher end market like California, for both traffic and pricing, it's still semi-affordable. But if you're coming from other places that maybe are comparable to our market, it's definitely not affordable. I think the housing prices here are a little overpriced, in my opinion. So I think people are paying a lot more than really what they should. But at the same time, what other options do you have, when you come here?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people really, like Dawn was saying, want the acreage. They want a lot of elbow room. And I think the reality is a lot of people, you end up being able to afford just living in a subdivision with maybe a smaller lot than you want.
Yeah, it's really, you're absolutely right. It's kind of disheartening when you have someone who's so excited to move here and they're like, okay, I want a half acre in Meridian or in Eagle for like 500,000.
Yeah, it's going to be a little more than that. It exists. We can get that for you, but it's going to be a little more than 600,000 probably for a half acre, unless you're coming here to find that super extremely rare property that you're going to flip.
Well, also I think too, here in Boise, it's exploded so much. And so the houses are a little bit more crammed together. And I think that's another myth that people have, or lie that people are saying is oh, you can move to Boise, get all this land, when really, like you said, Wendy, the neighborhoods are getting packed in there. And it's really kind of people who moved here 6 years ago or 7 years ago or even 8 years ago, it was a little bit more spread out, but now they're developing like crazy. And it's very, very tight in some of these neighborhoods.
Yeah, especially I think out in Meridian. Meridian's a super hot spot and a lot of people want to live there, and maybe even out in Kuna. And we're seeing so much development. We've had a lot of our first-time home buyer type builders out there, so they're definitely smaller homes, smaller lots. It did used to be a super cheap place to move to, but it's just not anymore because everyone wants to live here.
So what are people supposed to do, when they're looking at Idaho and looking at other states, for you, as you're watching this at home, thinking, yeah, Boise's been on our radar, but man, they're saying it's kind of expensive. What's the best, how would you help them?
I mean, I would just think set the expectations, right? I don't want to burst anyone's bubble or anything, but just the expectations need to be right. If you do want the more elbow room, you're going to be further out of town. You might have to fix up the home, things like that.
Yeah, I say talk to us. That's what I love. Give us a call. Let us know what it is you're looking for. We can set up a system so that you can start seeing what we have out there, and then you start getting used to what our market has and which areas have what price ranges and which areas might have a little more land or a little larger lot for you. I think that's the best way to really help, is to start doing your homework and start looking at homes that are for sale and getting familiar with what we have here.
So what's the biggest lie that affects people emotionally after they move here?
Well, I don't know if it's a lie, but it's certainly an expectation that they're going to move here and life's going to be peachy and wonderful and they're going to make a whole bunch of new friends. And I think that takes a minute. And when you've left your community and something that you've built someplace else, your family maybe, your best friends, and you come here, it does take a minute to get to know your neighbors, which are going to be probably more friendly than you're used to, but it does take some time to build your new community, getting to know the neighborhoods and where's going to be your spot that you go to hang out, and who are going to be your people, and who do you vibe with. And I think that takes time, and I've seen people come here and then they get that loneliness factor.
Oh, that's so true. I mean, you just recently helped some people. What's been there?
Yeah, so they just moved here, and they're in their 70s, and they've been in, where they came from. They were there for 40 years and had a really, really strong community around them. They moved here to be closer to their daughters who live here. But yeah, I mean, it's a transition. So they're going to have to get, surround themselves with new people and figure out the new lifestyle. And although it's awesome and amazing and exciting new chapter, it just takes a minute, like Dawn said, and for that transition to, feel like you belong.
100%. Yeah. I mean, we're getting a house listed from a client who we relocated here from the YouTube channel. And I was talking with a wife, and she's like, man, it took me about 5 years to kind of like get in, and where I'm like really happy, and I'm going to be sad leaving this home, but they're just moving down the street. So it's all good. They're staying in Idaho. But that transition, she was just very lonely, even though her and her husband both moved up here. They missed their grandkid. I mean, so.
I think that's right. I think it does take about 3 to 5 years to really get your community.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also people who just fold right in without any problem, and so I think it just depends, right?
Yeah, it depends on the person, because some of us are more reserved, some are more outgoing. If we are going to sit in our house and kind of wait for someone to come to us, it might be a harder transition. If we're going to put ourselves in the community, find a church, find a way to volunteer, new job, those are really the best ways to get out and make that transition a little more smooth.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's lots of clubs and organizations to join. Like there's tons of little biking clubs and hiking clubs and run clubs that might meet at the local brewery and take off every Tuesday or every Wednesday. There's lots of opportunities to meet people and to make that community, but it just takes a minute. And then on the flip side, we have a lot of people we work with that are moving here because they have family who moved here, or they move here and then they get their family to move here. So if you're worried about not having community, just bring your family with you. Come here, show them how wonderful it is, and then they're going to want to come here too.
Absolutely. I mean, there's been so many people moving here. There's tons to get involved in. So don't let that 3 to 5 years, or just jump in. That's all I can say is when you move to a new place, jump in with both feet. So what about this? I think Boise is kind of like in its teenage phase. Like, it's not full on city, but it's growing up. So is Boise boring?
I think Boise can be boring if you're boring. I think it depends entirely on the person. Like if you're someone who likes to get out and go meet people, like I have a son who is an absolute extrovert. He is out there. He is meeting people all the time, constantly talking to strangers. And I can do that, but I like to retreat and, regroup once in a while. So I think it definitely depends. If you're going to put yourself out there, there is plenty to do. We've got the river right through town. We've got ponds. We can go. You can go out by yourself and not be bored, or you can go out and find people.
Yeah, so much. What about you, Wendy?
It just depends on what you're looking for, We aren't the biggest city in the world. Yeah, we're kind of, we're in the middle. We're not teeny tiny, but we're not the biggest. And so, if you're looking for New York City, if you're looking for LA and all those kind of city activities, the huge museums and the shopping, like Rodeo Drive or whatever, the Broadway musicals, things like that. We don't have it to that degree, although we do have all those things. We do have shopping, we do have theater, we have museums, we've got all those things. So it really just depends. It's just on a smaller scale than the big city.
I like to think if Salt Lake City and Bend, Oregon had a baby, it would be Boise, Idaho. It's just one of those midtowns.
And we have our own versions of all of the big city stuff. So we have the Shakespeare Festival. That's really attractive for people getting to go out and watch a Shakespeare production. Out outside and have your wine and your treats. I love that. And other things that we have here. We do have art museums, and we do have other studios and movie theaters and lots of patios to go have a noon beverage or whatever. Bring your dogs, and there's lots to do. You just have to decide to go do it.
Yeah, totally. You can go to our website, www.goidahonow.com, and just start looking at all the homes that are available for sale right now, price points, what the estimated payment would be, all that good stuff. But I think another lie that people have here in Idaho is like there's no snow.
Well, we had a mild winter.
Well, this winter we didn't have but no one had snow.
But that means we're going to have a pretty big one probably coming up. I don't know. I'm not a weatherman. But yeah, I think people here, there's the 4 seasons, and they think it's this nice, mellow, like adjustment between seasons. But really, you're going from single digits to triple digits when you live here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, today's a beautiful day. It's in the middle of May that we're filming this, and we're just hanging out downtown Hyde Park, which is great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was funny because I was laughing because I had a client that moved here in 2016, and she was asking about the snow, and I was just like, yeah, it doesn't really snow that much. And then, as we all know, 2017 hit, and there was a huge snowstorm that snowed everybody in. And so I remember her calling me and just saying, you told me there's no snow here. So I guess I lied as well, but I didn't mean to.
But I think the underlying statement with people coming to Idaho is, yes, the houses aren't as cheap as they used to be, or you're not going to get that land like you hope to get. But man, you're going to have a lifestyle here that's so different from what you're used to. You're going to have, it's just beautiful here. We're in downtown Hyde Park, just enjoying the weather. People are out walking their dogs, little kids with their grandparents walking around. This is why people move to Idaho, is for this experience, being able to just chill, hang out, and just enjoy your life. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing.
That is. We do have lots of parks, lots of open areas, more dogs than any place. I think the lifestyle is extremely attractive, and that's why our homes cost a little more than they used to, and there's less land than there used to be. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wendy, what do you think?
I think it's amazing here. And I mean, again, you just want to do your homework. Like Dawn said, talk to us, reach out to us, even if you're not ready for a couple of years. We're not high pressure, we're not going to talk you into anything. We'll be honest with you. We'll let you know where, the good places to live and maybe not the not so good places to live are. So,
Wait, what are those? We have those?
Hey, that's the reality, Dawn.
Well, yeah, so if at any point you just want to connect with us or book a Zoom with us, just reach out to us. Go online at www.goidahonow.com, start looking. You can send a request in that way, and we are more than happy to just spend as much time with you, educate you, or just field your questions that you have, the concerns that you have. We've helped thousands of people relocate here, and we've helped thousands of people buy homes here. We absolutely love it, and we can't wait to work with you. So reach out to the Go Idaho team, and we'll see you here in Boise, Idaho.